right, we're going to wrap up this segment here with the TRID application by bringing a couple other regulatory definitions to the table. It's really tough to talk applications, okay, and not talk about, okay, the Reg B definition and the HMDA definition. So let's just go through this for a moment. Okay, we went through TRID. TRID says you got to have these 6 pieces, very narrow definition, right? Let's back up. Reg B, long-standing definition of an application. Well, even Reg B makes things complicated. They have 2 different definitions of an application within Reg B. There is the request, okay, for credit, which triggers generally regulatory compliance, things like intent to apply and demographic information requests, okay? But then they have a secondary definition, which is a completed application. Well, that one's only about the 30-day clock, the 30-day clock to communicate a decision once you have enough information to make a decision. And a lot of misconceptions sometimes with that one. So you're on the clock with Reg B and compliance when you have an oral or written request for credit. Well, when they rewrote HMDA some years back, okay, they said, you know what? Let's not recreate the wheel completely here. We like what Reg B says, oral or written request for credit. But we want just a little bit more when we're talking about HMDA. We want them to have a property identified. And so HMDA says oral or written request for credit plus a property identified. That's your HMDA definition of an application. Now, we've already talked about TRID, but let's go back. Okay, TRID said, well, yeah, we like Reg B, we like HMDA, we like that dwelling thing, but TRID's not just about dwellings, it's about dirt, right? So we don't have to have the dwelling. But we want to have a more narrow definition, because if we're going to have to put together a 3-page loan estimate, okay, we want to have just a little bit more than an oral or written request for credit. So yeah, that plus some information, but it's only 6 pieces of information. Now, why am I bringing this all to you? Because when auditors open up your file, when the examiners crack open that file in your next exam, we need to make certain that we've documented the application date, right? But which one? So I'm going to give you a heads up here. You need to make sure you set your files up for success. Make sure you're documenting all 3 application dates. Now, many times, all 3 might be exactly the same. That you get your oral or written request, you get your property identified, and you get your 6 items for TRID all at the same time. And in that case, all 3 will be the same date. But there will be instances where 2 out of the 3 are same. 1 out of the 3, all 3 of them are different. And so make sure that you set yourself up so that you can document potentially 3 different application dates in your loan file. Okay. Again, most of the time, they'll probably all 3 be the same, but that's not 100% that all 3 will be the same every time. And if we crack open the file and we only see a singular application date, file in, file out, when we do our reviews and when examiners come in, that's going to raise a red flag that, well, wait a minute, they're saying it's that this is the application date. Does that mean it's the application date for all 3? And what happens when it's different? And when somebody says, well, it's always the same, well, you're just asking for trouble then. Okay, challenge, game on. I'm going to go and find an instance where they're not all 3 the same, and then we're going to have a problem on our hands. So set your files up for success. That's the point there.